Welcome to Cocktail Interviews. I'm Stan Banters. This is a show about delicious cocktails and refined conversation. With me today is Josh. I am drinking sangria. What are you having, Josh?
Coffee, Stan.
Coffee. Coffee and sangria. Here's the Cocktail Interviews. Let's get started. Josh, I notice you're considerably smaller than me. What's that like?
Well, Stan, I can go through normal-sized doors. I suppose, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Am I smaller than you, or,
Yeah,
or are you
you're
abnormally large?
I wouldn't say I'm abnormally large. I would say I'm average large. At best, average large.
So what would you call me? Average small?
I'd call
Or
you
just smaller
I'd call
than
you
average?
small. You're smaller than average.
I don't know. I guess that's what I'm used to.
So you'd say it's not as good. Okay. You kind of look like Jason Statham. Have you ever thought about making love to a man so he could sleep with a guy that looks like Jason Statham?
Can you repeat the question, please?
No. This is delicious.
The only part of that question I understood was, have I ever slept with a man?
No, that's not what I asked. I asked, would you consider sleeping with a man so the other man could have slept with a guy that looks like Jason Statham?
Ooh, okay. That changes.
See, it's like you're fulfilling someone's fantasy.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there payment involved?
No payment.
Is this a thing that'll be known amongst other people, or does it stay between the two of us?
Moving on. Have you noticed a lot of people these days are driving those Segway scooters? Why don't you have one?
Actually, I haven't noticed that. I've only seen one person driving a Segway. I don't have one because I'm pretty badass, and a Segway just isn't very badass.
I disagree. I think that the coordination and the skill needed to drive a Segway is quite badass. Okay, moving on. Thank you for your honesty. If I could change one thing about you, what would it be?
If you could change one thing about me,
Mm-hmm.
you have the power to change one thing
That's
about
right.
me.
Yep.
I would have to say the fact that if you were changing one thing about me, it'd probably be better, or probably best for you to change the fact that I am better than you.
At what?
Everything, Brian.
I disagree, but
Everything, Stan.
maybe kickball. You might be better at me than kickball.
Of course, kickball, but many other things.
Going back to the topic of
Video
our size,
games.
I'm very large and awkward. I'm not good at kickball.
Yeah, not good at all. I'm also better at you than video games, love making, pretty much anything.
Okay. Well, maybe one of these days you can give me some tips.
Yeah.
Especially on lovemaking.
Of course, Stan.
Thank you. Who do you think would win in a fist fight, Alan Jackson or Dwight Yoakam?
Ooh. Dwight Yoakam.
Why?
Because he's somewhat creepy, and I feel like he's got a wild side. I feel like he's got
shank.
he's got something in his closet.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
think he'd fight dirty.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think he'd
Alan
pull a shank.
Jackson, straightforward man. He's got a family. I mean, I have no idea.
Well, then he's got something to fight for, so maybe he'd be more dangerous.
Yeah.
Dwight Yoakam was in Sling Blade though. So
I agree.
And he got murdered by a retard.
I feel like a more.
So I think Alan Jackson would win.
I feel like a more appropriate question would have been, who would I pick, Dwight Yoakam or Chuck Norris?
That's a no-brainer.
Chuck Norris.
Dwight Yoakam. A train leaves Los Angeles heading east at 60 miles per hour. A train leaves New York heading west at 80 miles per hour. If I'm in Chicago, how long would it take for me to get mugged and left for dead in an alley?
Can you repeat the question?
No. 2 minutes. Thank you for joining us today on Cocktail Interviews.
problem,
I hope
Steve.
your coffee was delicious.
Thank you.
My sangria was delicious. Join us next time on Cocktail Interviews.